computer, yes. So about the geometry nodes, I'll share my screen and we'll start. There we go. I don't know if you have heard of this short story by Kafka, by Franz Kafka, called The Metamorphosis. Anybody read it? And it's about this young man who is living with his parents and going to work. And one morning he suddenly wakes up and finds himself to be transformed into this giant insect, cockroach or whatever. And he finds it deeply disturbing, as we can imagine. So why is this relevant, or how is this relevant to Blender geometry nodes? So let's go see. There is a reason I'm showing this. Okay, I'll go just back to the previous version of this document. Okay, so here I have made a terrain already, and yes, I have given it some geometry also before taking it to the geometry nodes. But I could have given this geometry to it also in directly in the geometry nodes, but now you can, well, I chose to do it here. So let's go and open up the geometry nodes, and you'll see why I was talking about Gregor Samsa, the guy who became a cockroach one morning. So here it's one of the workspaces here, and just like shading has nodes for the materials, geometry nodes has nodes for changing the geometry, and you can change the geometry in any kind of way. So first I need to, let's put this out of the way, and what I need is I need to create new nodes by pushing this button, and also I need to have at least one object selected here. Now it's this plane that is going to be my terrain. I maybe want to even call it terrain so it's clearer. Oh, and by the way, I have these elements, the stone, 2 trees, and grass in these other scene collections. But back to the terrain, and let's press the crucial button in order to make the geometry nodes. And first of all, this looks fairly simple and fairly weird. So the group output refers to what we see here. The group input refers to the like original geometry. And the thing is, we can unbind this connection and tell the object to be anything else, just like Gregor Samsa noticed one morning that he had become an insect. So you can make, let's make an example. So Shift A is for adding stuff, just like elsewhere in Blender. Also, here's information about your geometry, by the way, which some people find fascinating and informative. Right now, for our purposes, it's just enough that I tell you that it's there. also all of this refers to every single vertex point that I made here, and also to the to the faces and so on. And you can see here how many of them are there exactly. Okay, but back to changing the geometry to something totally different by Shift A. So here is things you haven't met before, unless, yes, there is the mesh. These are should be familiar. So I go to the primitives, and these are also familiar, right, to you. So I could now say that, okay, instead of this terrain, I want to have a cone. Then I'll put this node over here, and it will cut the connection to the original geometry. And now for all purposes, I have a cone there. And it will also render as a cone and not as a plane. And now I can do anything I like with this cone and give it whatever attributes. So many people don't even use the original geometry, but just handle everything in the geometry nodes right away. But I am not going to do that, actually. I'm going to click X and take the cone away. This was just to show you that this is possible. And so I'm going to make the connection back. So now we have the terrain again. So, however, I do want to change the way this terrain looks like. So I wanted to have some like surface texture, so that it goes up and down in a fairly well, in some sort of way that I can control, but not too much. Okay, so I can also change the position of this object here in the geometry nodes, because well, that's part of geometry, like where something is. So let's do that next. And if I don't remember where the hell the position is here, I can just click here and search for it. Position is there, so maybe I'll have the set position node rather than position, and then I'll put it here in the middle. And because I have Node Wrangler on, it will be automatically connected. Do you remember Node Wrangler? So here we have the X, Y, Z axis, and I can change the position of the terrain like this if I want to. However, there are other ways of using this set position, and that's what I'm going to do next. So I do have some notes that I have written to myself about, because, like I said, I'm also just a beginner in geometry nodes. So, but that's why it's also effective that I'm also a beginner, so I need to explain these to you one by one, what they actually do. There are some really bad tutorial videos on geometry nodes where somebody just whips up like 15 nodes and then puts them together and says, yeah, this is how you do it, and doesn't explain anything at all. And then there are those videos that are like horribly boring, in that the person explains everything from the beginning, from maths and coding and stuff. And yeah, so I'm trying to do something in the middle of those. So I said I wanted this terrain to follow a texture, that it would go after a texture in the z-axis way, so up and down position. So it would go following that texture. So let's start adding some nodes here. And I'll need, so there are textures. So we can try different kinds of textures, but I'll start with the noise texture that would make this sort of, well, uniform sort of terrain, I think. Okay, here, noise texture. Also, it's possible to combine different textures, but we are not going to do that now. And I need a couple of nodes here in the middle in order for this to work. In the end, I'm going to put things here together with a position. But first, I needs a couple of things, like I said. So let's start with yeah, RGB curves might be the next. That would be good. Curve. No, I think it's under utilities and color, and you can always click on the search if you don't find something. RGB curves. Not because I want to have color necessarily, and not at all actually, but I just want these curves here to appear. So this is the first thing I'm going to combine. So I'll take this to the color socket. There we go. And I need something else also. I needed this to know that it's in the that it goes into the Z position. So I need to have something called combine XYZ. And this I will search here. Combine, there it is, combine XYZ. So there we go. And I'll put this color to the Z axis. And I need a little bit more stuff here as well. So here, if I would now put this directly here, it would not work. I still need a couple of things because I need this mesh to know its original position, like where it's supposed to be right now. So I need to tell it that, and then I need to combine that with this information that's coming from here. So just the position, there it is. To read the position. So here I'll just, I need one more node in the middle. The and this is, I need a little bit of math to add these two, and then I go and put it here into the set position. So let's see, math, where is it? Is it vector math? That sounds really good. So under vector math, there are a lot of other functions than add, but add is what I now want. And there are two sockets of promising color. You always have to look for the same colored or almost same colored sockets. If you get a red color in the node, then it means that you have connected the wrong socket and that it's not going to work that way. And that happens a lot also. So here I will now tell that, okay, I wanted to know that, okay, this is the basic position, but that it's going to change the Z position together with this. And it's not going to happen if I don't combine this with the original set position thing, node, I mean. Okay, here we go. And now it works. Yahoo! Let's open the champagne bottle. Anyway, this now I can start changing the actual noise, also changing with it with these curves. So you can see things change in different ways. And maybe too much here, not that much. Also, I can change these details here, scale, detail, so on, or make it into 40 noise. I don't know if that's so. So no matter what I do here, it stays very much as a noise texture because that's what it's supposed to be. If I wanted to have like something different, then I would change to a different texture. Okay, I want it to be a little bit softer. So let's add a little bit of something here. Material. Mesh. Oh, there it is. Edge smooth. No. I'm looking for smoothing. So here, right, under right, set shade smooth. So remember the smoothing thing. We can do it also here from the directly from the geometry nodes. So I'll just push it in between here, and now we have smooth shading for that. Or I could have done that directly for the mesh itself. Like if I go one step back, and so we could go quickly away from here. I'll save this for now and go to layout, and then have object and have the smooth shading from here. Works also. So for a long time I was thinking, like, why do we need geometry nodes at all? Because most of the stuff can be done directly here in the actual Blender interface. Like, it seemed to me like a little bit of a hassle. But maybe one of you here who have done geometry nodes before, you could answer that question for me. Why are you interested in geometry nodes?
Sorry, could you just show the nodes again?
Yes.
Because I put mine, I think I copied, but it just doesn't want to work for me.
Yeah, that's very familiar. Happens to me all the time. So this time I had, like I said, I have notes here written. I have drawn the nodes on paper so that I can remember the right order. But yeah, the answer to the question, to your question and to the question I set earlier, is that you can do things in geometry nodes that you can't do with a normal Blender interface. Like, for instance, if you have lots and lots of instances of maybe trees or other things that you want to put there, which we are going to try next, or if you have these, or if you have special effects where, or you want to have something really geometrical happening where, let's say, 1,000 objects that you are doing some sort of movement and also changing their shapes and their textures live there, then the geometry nodes are pretty handy for that. And I can't wait to get into that also. Later on in this course, Markku Laskujärvi is going to show you some weather effects in with geometry nodes. Okay, so you see these nodes here, don't you, now?
Yeah, I got it working.
Good. Usually it's just some one little thing that's not in the right connection point or connector. I think these are called connectors, node connectors. Okay, good. Any other people who are like
yeah,
in trouble?
I did exactly. Yeah, I did exactly the same way you did, but it's not working in mine.
Okay, so maybe I can, if I stop sharing and you can show yours.
Yeah, I'll
Stop share.
share.
I can't guarantee that I will find the error, but I can try.
Can you see now?
Maybe if you make it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So that we can see the nodes better. Yes. Right. We have the output here, there. We have a nice texture. Combine X, Y, Z. And you have, oh, yeah, I think I know what's up here. Your terrain probably doesn't have enough. Yeah, I can see it now. If you look at the left hand upper corner in the left hand,
Yep.
then no, not on the right, left. You're in the right. Yes. In that, you can see that you don't have much geometry there. Like what I did was I did a subdivision beforehand. If you stop sharing, I can show you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's go back to my screen. So what I showed like really early on in this lesson, let's go into the edit mode. I had made a lot of geometry here by subdivision.
Okay.
And if you don't have geometry, then the texture won't work. So I think I did something like 65 points with the subdivision.
Okay,
I didn't show it. I didn't show the subdivision phase because I had done that already during the lunch break. But yes, that was should be an easy fix. Once you got enough geometry, then it should work. Okay. Also, you can see that now that we are in the layout mode, it's showing the original geometry here, but it won't be rendering it anyway. Anyway, let's go back into geometry nodes. And any other questions? And by the way, Zagam, I have to admire how economically you had put those nodes. They were very cleanly there in one row. So my nodes tend to go all over the place. Anyway, I'm now going to, like, speaking of putting the nodes in one place, I'm going to give these nodes some designation so that I can later on remember what they were and how they were. So, okay, here. First, I will select them all, and then I think it was Control and J with which I can mark this area, and I click N for the sidebar. Now I can give it a description and also a different color. So I call this terrain texture. And I think it went into the wrong place. Did it? Yeah, I think it did. So I need to go back and take this away. So no description here. View, node. Yeah, here it is, the frame that I just made. So I will label that terrain texture. Yep, that was the right place. Also, I can change its color to something else. So when I open this document later on, I will remember what this does. And I'll try to use colors that I can look at. Okay, so that was the first step here. So let's get into the next step, which you are probably waiting for. So how to distribute these trees around this texture, how to make that happen. And maybe I want to make the texture a little bit softer still. Yeah, now it's more like a forest ground. There are many other ways of changing the geometry of a plane, but yeah, this was one of the ways. Okay, this I don't need. So I need nodes that are called, for instance, distribute points on faces and instance on points. So I need to distribute a certain number of points all over this this terrain, and then I will distribute these trees as so-called instances over those distributed points. That's my that's my goal, and I need to put it all. Where do I need to put it? There's the set position. I think I need another set position and another group input. You remember the group input, like that it knows that, okay, here's the geometry. I can have another one of those here as well. So start with that input, group input. Okay, and let's see. What I also need is the instance on points. I said instance on points. There it is. And distribute points on faces. So make this small for now. Distribute points on faces. There it is. And I'm fully aware that I might mess this up. And let's see how it goes. Because explaining things and at the same time as you try to do them is not always the best thing to do. Okay, and I will probably also need a join geometry thingy here. Geometry, read, sample, right, operations. Okay, join geometry, there it is. So I will put this over here for now, because I'm going to join stuff from over here to here. So first of all, I'll try if this works, that I can get the distribute points on faces, if I can distribute points around. Let's have the mesh from here. Yes, it does work. It doesn't show it here on the surface, but on the original face, now you can see that there are these points all around, and I can also change their density, that they are less or more dense. This can also be influenced by other nodes, and with a seed I can change where they are, or I could put another texture which would tell this that exactly like where these points would be, like if I wanted the trees to be in direct rows, I could give it like this stripe texture and put them there. Anyway, that's not what I'm going to do now. So here in the middle, I still need stuff, and also into the I need to know like what it's going to put here on these points now that the points have been created. So that was the instance on points. So the instance will be these trees and stones. Once they are not the original ones, but when they are distributed everywhere, then they will be called instances. That is something that is from coding language. If you have done any coding, you've met instances. Instances are friends. Be kind to instances. Okay, I'll just push this here in the middle, and now nothing seems to happen because it doesn't know. Oh, and I put it in the wrong place, by the way. No, of course I did. Did I put it in the wrong place? No, I don't think so. It's still good. But I think I'll make one connection from here so that I can actually also see the mesh. Okay. So this group input is still the original mesh, just to tell you. Okay, let's go a little bit closer. So now here it says instance, and I wanted to know which instance it is. And I actually want to have this whole package of stones and trees. So how to do that? I was puzzled by this for a long time, and then I saw like a tutorial that showed that it was actually really simple. You just drag whatever mesh you want from here, from this window into here, into the geometry nodes. So you can, like I said, you can drag either one element or you can drag a whole scene collection, and then it will just distribute all of these, all of the collection everywhere on the terrain. We can do it in a slightly different manner to it, but I'll explain that later. But for now, I'll just take the scene collection and drag it here. Add node collection, yes. And now it says collection info, elements. First of all, I'll tell it to separate the children. Oh, that's always so hard to separate the children. It's just that I don't want all of these to be in one bunch. That's the separate children thing. And soon we will have to do also something with the rotation and the scale of the children, because once I plug this into here, then you will probably see something that looks pretty horrible. So let's see what happens. Instance. See, I promised you horrible, and that's what you've got. So obviously there's work to do here that needs to be done. I'm also a little bit worried that the distribute points and faces doesn't seem to work. I have probably made some, yeah, I should have there's probably some sort of error here, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, I can now change how these children look like, these instances. I should be able to do it from a rotation. But what I really want is that there is more randomness. So I need some random values actually for the rotation and scale. And also I need a set position here in the middle, I think. Yeah, that might be a nice thing to have.
I don't know why, but
Okay.
mine are not duplicating.
Okay. And you have distributed those points on faces.
Yes. Everything looks all right. That's why I don't understand.
And you have enough geometry there in your mesh.
There is quite a lot.
Do you want to share your screen for a while?
Sure. Just one moment.
Also, by the way, do you want me to share with you the Blender documents which I have made earlier as examples with the right or at least working nodes. I can put them into the into Moodle later. Sagam, yes. Okay, let's see. You have so what do you have in the collection? You have the trees. Yeah,
Yes.
that should be okay.
Those two.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
And you have try the resetting the children, although it shouldn't do much. Okay, something happened. Yes. Yeah, sometimes that helps. And then click away from the reset children again. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so click on the, so at least with the reset children on, you can see them.
They're a bit big though. Just a little bit.
Yeah, not a problem. That's the next thing we are going to do, change the sizes. And as you saw, my sizes were also quite weird. So let's go into that bit next. Okay, if you stop sharing, I'll go and show the next phase. Okay. Okay, in order to get rid of this horribleness here, I need to go and change the rotation and scale here. And let's make some more space for those. So I'll add, let's see, I want to have random values here. So let's go search for random value, yes. And I'll just duplicate this one. So I have it twice. And now instead of float, I think I'm going to use the vector, because that will give me X, Y, and Z axis. And the same, let's see if the same goes also for the scaling. And yeah, the distribute points and faces, I forgot something from here. Usually the method is better to be set at Poisson disk. Don't ask why, but well, the thing is, the why is that there are more things to do there. Anyway, I'll now put the random value into the rotation, like this. Well, it looks different, certainly. Not necessarily what I want yet, but it's different. Also, I put the other random value to the scale. It also looks different. Woohoo! And now I have the fun task of sorting this mess out. Usually it goes so that that these min and max numbers are fairly big. So if I put here as I want to have some scaling here, but not this much, and possibly also not to the X and Y axis. So I put 0 and 0 to both here. And I lost all my trees. Interesting. This hasn't happened before. Huh. Let's see. Now they are there again, but in a very strange way. Now my trees look almost like grasses, so it seems that I'm doing something very wrong here. Okay, let's put everything in 0.1. Okay, they are there, but they are very small and looking like mushrooms. So 0.3. By the way, with shift, by clicking shift, all of these with shift, I can make them into the same value. 0.4. Okay, they are still there. So I would need now to sort these scales out for a little while. Also for the rotation. Okay, that I need to find the right answer to this. Like, where does it look good? So the random value goes so that the minimum is 0 and then the maximum is whatever you set here, or you can set the minimum to something else than 0, which is, I think, the best thing also to do here, like 0.2, for instance. So now none of the trees are in the 0 value. However, the rotation is all over the place, so I need to check that out. What's happening? Okay, now all of them are straight, and also these borders are there too. And pick instance that sometimes also helps with this. And I obviously need to put them in. Let's see if I put reset children. No, that doesn't help. And I need to change here the distance of, like, how far away these trees are from each other, the minimum, and also the stones, and also how dense this forest of mine is. And I probably need to set the position of these trees so that they are higher up to the, or I need to set the position of the mesh lower. For instance, I have the set position T over here. Let's see if that helps. Yes, that does help. There we go. And the trees are quite small still, so I might want to go and check the scale of the children. If the 0.204 is a little bit too small, so let's change that to 0.4 and 0.8. So now I need to put the distance and density again into lower values. So you see that it's a fiddling business doing this. Any questions so far? Okay, so what I actually wanted also to show was how to put these into into different kinds of vertex groups, but I'm not sure if it's going too far, maybe. So let's have like a little bit more than half an hour for you so that you can practice this. And then I think you will have lots and lots of questions afterwards. Do you want, so if you want me to show you these nodes again, I can do that. So if you want to take a screenshot or something, put the nodes a little bit closer to each other again, so you can see better what's happening. And yeah, I can also put this into the model. So here you go, if you want to make a screenshot out of this. And then here's the other one, the terrain texture thingy. And there are probably better ways also of doing this. And I'm not 100% sure actually if I haven't done some errors on the way, but at least they are distributing themselves somewhere, and hopefully to the points that I made earlier. Okay, so I'll stop at this point, and what do you say that we meet again at 2:30 and see what you have been able to do so far? Okay, I'll stop recording now, and now I'll need to